So here we will discuss about corporate governance. So corporate governance is a system by which the company are directed and controlled by senior officers. So we don't need to think a lot about corporate governance. Okay, we have to think in terms of how finance and corporate governance are linked. Okay, so that is our element here. So we'll just look at here. See, if you're a small business owner, if you're a small business owner, okay, you own the company plus you manage the company. If you are a part of a company, okay, you are a shareholder. The shareholder is the owner of the company and there is a CEO. The CEO is a manager of the company. Okay, both these people are different people. Now the problem is like this. As you are the owner and manager in a small company, you won't cheat. But in a company, the shareholder and CEO are different people. The owner and manager are a different set of people. Will the manager cheat the owner? The answer is yes. Okay. So that is where the corporate governance issues start, because the owner is a separate person and the manager is a separate person, and the owner does not come to the company and check the affairs of the company on a daily basis. Okay. So there's a more chance for the manager to cheat the owner. So this is called as the agency concept. Okay. So if you take, an agent is a person who does the job of another person. So there is a owner and there is a CEO. The owner is a principal and the CEO is an agent. Okay. The owner appoints a CEO to manage the company and the CEO cheats. Okay. Now you have two choices. To reduce the cheating, you have two options. One, allow him to cheat. Allow to cheat. Okay. That's one option. Or discourage from cheating. You have two options. Okay. Allow him to cheat or discourage him from cheating. But either of it you choose, whether you allow him to cheat or you discourage him from cheating, you incur a cost. So that cost is called as agency cost. Okay. So to prevent the agent from cheating the company, okay, what the shareholders can do is they can give him more financial incentives. We can pay more bonus to him, so that we can say that don't cheat, we pay you more bonus, be happy with that. We can also give him shares, so he partly becomes a shareholder of the company. So his incentive to cheat the company becomes less, because he is also partly a owner of the company. We also pay him a bonus, but all these kinds of bonus, this free shares being given, all these are a cost. This is called as the agency cost. Okay. So in real world they feel that it is usually these kinds of cost, okay, is much more lower than allowing him to cheat. So the cheating cost, if he cheats, that cost is very higher. To discourage him from cheating, that cost is lower. Which is better? They feel that let's give him a lot of incentives so that he is not very motivated to cheat the company. Okay. So that's what agency cost is. So we have to give him a very good remuneration. Okay. So remuneration can be like this. It can be a performance related pay, something which is related to profit of sales. It can be rewarding the managers with shares. We can give him free shares, or we can give him ESOP, executive stock option plan. We'll have a question here. You can go through this question by yourself. Which of the following are not usually considered to be agency costs? Okay, costs associated with giving shares. Now only we found out that it's a cost. So this is a cost, but we have to find out which of the following is not a agency cost, right? So this is a agency cost. Cost of monitoring managers, we have to monitor them, so that is again a cost. The cost of obtaining a listing on the stock exchange. Listing on a stock exchange is not monitoring him or like benefiting him, so that is not an agency cost. Cost of divergent behavior by managers. If we don't give him benefits, he will cheat us, so there is a cheating cost. So A, B and D are related to agency cost. C is not a agency cost. Let's see the answer. The answer is C. Okay, so that's about this question. We'll move on to the next question. Which of the following is least likely to solve the agency problem between a shareholder and manager? So which will not help to solve the agency problem? Giving managers profit related rewards, this will solve the problem. Using external auditors to gauge company performance, if we engage an auditor, he will come and verify, and that can solve the agency problem. Writing restrictive covenants into bond contracts. Bond contracts is related to debenture holders or bond holders. That will not in any way affect the agency cost or agency problem, so this will not affect. Monitoring managers. If we monitor managers, they won't cheat a lot, so that is also a kind of an agency problem. So C is not at all related to the question. So C should be the answer. So that's about the second question. We will move on to the next part. We'll discuss about what is ESOP or Executive Stock Option Plan. So assume that you work as a CEO in a company. The company gives you a right to buy a share, a certain amount of company's share at a predetermined price for a specified period. So nicely memorize this statement. Okay, so that's about the ESOP. We'll see also an example how ESOP works. So assume that you're a manager, and the option agreement allows that the manager can purchase 500 shares of a company. He can purchase at a 50 rupees per share after 2 years. So whatever the price is, he can buy at 50. So once we give an ESOP and the manager puts all his efforts to make the company great, and finally the company raises its share price to 70 rupees in the 2 years time. So now the manager will exercise his option. So what he will do, as promised, the company will give him 500 shares. He will pay 50 rupees for each share, so that will be 25,000. He can sell that share in the market at 70 rupees per share. So per share he will make a profit of 20, and he will totally make 20 into 500, $10,000 as his profit. So that's what here it works. 20 is per share gain and 10,000 is the total gain. So that's how ESOPs work. Okay, so they give you a promise, the company gives you a promise that in the future they will give you a share at a particular price. So as a employee in the company, your job is to put all your efforts and boost the share price and make it higher. So very nicely it works. But what are the good things about this? It acts as an incentive for hard work. You will work hard. It helps really in attracting and retaining talented people in the company. Employees are very clear like what they have to achieve. Their very single objective is to boost the share price and do things which improve the share price. All the efforts goes towards the goal of achieving the share price increase. It helps in continuous improvement. Employees look at the long-term interest of the company because they have to increase the share price in 2 years or 3 years time. So they don't do things which are helpful in the 3-month time, 6-month time. They focus on the longer term of the horizon. But ESOP is very good, but it also comes with its own set of problems. So problem number 1 is decisions that are contrary to the benefit of the organizations might be taken. Okay, so it's not that ESOP is there, all the employees will be like working really for the benefit of the company. Still they might not work for the benefit of the company. ESOPs are usually for 3 years, 5 years period. So the longer time period actually does not motivate the employees a lot. There is no single metric to assess the company's performance. We say that the share price increase is good, but what if these CEOs and managers are manipulating the share price? So that can be the problem. To solve one problem, we have actually created another problem. There are factors which are outside the control of the employees. So assume that they have done a really good job. In the 3 years time the share price is going up, but on the third year there's a recession and the share price goes down. So the employees will be really demotivated there. It might encourage employees to manipulate the share price. So that is a very bad problem with ESOPs.